All right. So I graduated as a mechanical engineer from MIT Manipal, and I graduated in 2018. So since then, I've been working with Honda Cars India, based in Greater Noida, and I have like around 2 years of work experience, and I'm in the quality department of the company where I'm dealing with the after sales problems and the problem detection and global escalations. So that's my critically my role for in Honda, and that's basically how what I'm going about things right now. Started preparing for the GMAT back in 2018. So I just got the official guides and I went through the format. I didn't really prepare for it. I was just going through the formats and the type of questions. And without any preparations per se, I gave the GMAT in August 2019 for the first time. So when I gave it for the first time, I got a 580, and like my quant score was still a bit better than the verbal, where I was around 47 in quant, but my verbal was pretty poor. It was around 26. So then I took a break and I started preparing for the GMAT finally in around November 2019. And over there, I took the eGMAT course. So the eGMAT course, along with few extensions, I went till May 2020. So I was preparing through the eGMAT course, going through the course material, and I took the entire verbal and quant course. Even I went through the Sigma mocks and everything. So at the end of the day, I gave my GMAT again in August 2020 and I scored a 650 in it. Quant was 49, verbal was around 30. So I was suffering in the verbal section again. So that has been my brief GMAT history. Like I gave it again. Now I'm preparing again for the GMAT start in September. So critical reasoning was my key um, problematic area throughout the GMAT preparations previously as well. I couldn't follow the e-GMAT process of negation and how you need to double negate it and come to the final answer. So the way it has been taught in GMAT intensive core is just brilliant. Like how the course has been structured, where you start with focusing on the reading skills and how you can build it, and focusing on making connections, and then inferences, and the pre-session and post-sessions are just helping throughout in improving the understanding of the critical reasoning questions. So whatever focus was previously was on how to get the answer. Right now, the focus has shifted about how to understand the problem statements and then the question statements, just linking it, like not just keeping two options in the background and then answering the question. Well, you have to just answer each option choice at once and then go through the question ahead. So critical reasoning has helped me extremely well in the intensive course. Coming to reading comprehension, I always face issues with the complex paragraphs where there are these lengthy paragraphs where you have very complex English. You're not able to understand and comprehend a lot of words when you're coming across the passage. So how you have to be patient and read each and every sentence properly and go slowly. The focus on being slow and not rushing through the passage and the question choices. So that helps so much, because if you're not, I followed several techniques earlier where I used to follow this Manhattan's technique, where you just skim through the passage quickly, read the first and just skim through the examples or whatever, and then when you're coming across the question you can always refer back. So since I've not understood the passage properly, my accuracy was, it was decent in reading comprehension, but I would never say my accuracy was around 80-90%. I wouldn't even dream of it. So reading comprehension per se has been amazing, where you have to just focus on understanding everything again. And the initial reading skills, what were taught to us in the first three lectures, they helped a lot in the reading comprehension section. Coming to section sentence correction. So eGMAT sentence correction was very nice earlier. So going through the rigid rules and understanding everything. But over here, the focus on meaning rather than the rules has really enlightened me and improved my accuracy whenever I've been solving the questions. Like I was like, personally for me, the major takeaway from the sentence correction was like the rules are there, but you don't have to be so rigid about it. Like you have to focus on the meaning more than anything else, and that honestly like helps us improve the accuracy and understanding to another level. So that was per se my feedback for all the three sections. We used to wait for the lectures because it's a course that is span like it's across the 1 month period. So pre-sessions gave us an idea about what the lecture is going to be about. And even when we are going to the lecture where we are discussing the questions and going through the questions personally before we even come to the lecture, that helps us so much because it gives us an idea about how the things are going to pan out in the session, what are we going to learn from it. And the post sessions, of course, it was like a homework assignment where we used to study in school, and we've come out of the classroom sessions and the college sessions where we have some homeworks or whatever. So that going back after the session, doing those homeworks, and taking a feedback about what you've learned properly or not. And then there's this always an option where you can write it in the comments and ask any queries, and it was dealt with very properly. So pre-sessions and post-sessions was so good, and the course structure was completely amazing because you there's the ample amount of time we're getting throughout the session. Also, whatever we are learning in the session, some things we need to learn as basics, which is something we need to do on our own, especially in sentence correction. There's so many rules, and going through each and every rule is going to be a very tedious task in the sessions. So the ideal selection of what should be done by the student alone and what the person has to do on his own, and then what needs to be taken up in the session, that's a perfect balance. So the pre-session and post-session works were perfectly fit for session. Was It was something like when it went very slow, and a lot of people like have complaints about how we are just doing few questions, like just one passage in a span of 2.5 hours or something. Or we're taking up 3 or 4 questions of critical reasoning, or 4 or 5 questions of sentence correction. But that is very critical because I think focusing, there's so many things that you have doubts you have in your mind, and even if those doubts are cleared, focusing on what others are asking, it's so important because the same question is not going to come in the GMAT. And when anyone is asking any doubt and that kind of thought comes up in your head, oh, this, even I could have thought in this way. And the patience that you and Anish exhibit during the lecture and answer even the stupidest of the doubts, or even the smallest of the doubts that any person could have, that actually gives us that comfort during the entire course, where you can ask anything or whatever is in your head, and that actually helps us improve our abilities in a way. So the doubt handling session and the way the session is conducted, it's perfect. So CJ and Anish, they have been amazing teachers because we have been in my college also and in my classroom sessions as well. And I really wish I had teachers like you, because it's not only we are learning something about GMAT, we're learning about life lessons as well. And the way you've dealt with each and every doubt, you're not getting upset or judging anyone when anyone is asking any doubt. The comfort that both CJ and Anish exhibit during the they give us the comfort during the sessions, it's exceptional. Like I've never come across such kind of experience before. And that smile that both CJ and Anish keep on the face, and that having those little jokes and smirks around throughout the sessions, it keeps you calm throughout the session even when you're not understanding anything, because it's completely like, oh, I would have thought about this, but oh, actually this was something like this. It's completely new for you. And just having that light moment and keeping calm throughout the session, when you're like, oh, this is something very new that I've understood, and it's just English we are learning, right? So as a language, whatever we are learning, and the um, like all the teachings that you are telling us throughout the session, even on the maze we're getting the thought of the days, it completely keeps us calm and confident that okay, this is something that I can actually learn, and GMAT is a learnable exam. Definitely. I've already recommended it to a couple of my friends, and a few of my friends also joined the course. And I would definitely recommend the course to everyone, because GMAT, like when we go through GMAT Club and all the different forums, we come across different courses like eGMAT or Kaplan or Manhattan Prep or Economist. So we're coming with so many courses. Even I've personally gone through the eGMAT course, and what you learn from the classroom session is something else altogether. I would never have thought that like 760 is actually a reachable target. And right now I'm still confident, like going through the course, that I'm able to solve the questions properly and be able to understand everything. And I will definitely recommend the course to anyone, like the newcomers also and the retakers especially, because getting a low score during the GMAT does hamper the confidence of a person, and I've seen people around me, and I've personally has affected me as well. So the course has really boosted my confidence in a way, and like complete given me good direction and where I have to actually work hard upon, not like just going through the course and you'll be able to get 760, like you get those emails from different courses, and like you 760 in 30 days, 31 days a statistician gets 760. So it doesn't feel like it's a money making business, and this course is actually helping people. So I would definitely recommend the course to everyone who is going through the GMAT process.